Hello and welcome to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more Rogue Trader. We've got a few things on our sort of plate at the moment, so let's work through things. I feel like our battle against the Drukhari, I can't remember his name, is something we'll probably build up to. I feel like that's probably going to be largely maybe a chapter climax or something like that. So we're here at the moment. And I think I'm going to go down to Furibundus, because we want to go and do the footfall thing and just get that ticked off. I'm going to make this... I'm going to use a couple of points to make this a decently safe route. So we've kind of connected these two trees now, which I think will be useful. But let's go there now. No complications. Yeah. There's also a system... Oh. Shireen, if you find a spare minute on footfall when you're not deciding our lackluster fates, I would be delighted to see you at my Americar on the Amescus. I don't know what that is. I'll tell Octi to set aside some decent wine in case you decide to grace our humble party with your luminous presence. Americar, is that some kind of celebration? It is an occasion celebrated on my world, Ifrit. It is the day when a person shows by their actions that they have reached maturity, that their spirit is ennobled. Among the Ifritian nobility, this day is considered more important than other symbolic events, such as the first cry or the day of repose. And by a wonderful coincidence, my America happens to fall on the day when I also wish to celebrate my acquisition of the Mercatum Tabula Officiale. Alright, I'll go. The lowly regulars of the Amesecus will be telling their great-grandchildren about the time they had the honour of witnessing your dazzling visit to that unworthy dive, Shireen. That is, of course, if they live long enough to see their great-grandchildren. Okay, well, we'll have to... Okay, I think she's already there. We don't have to take her in our party, so... that's fine. I don't think we've got anything else to do on footfall, to be quite honest. I might go and see Opticon, though, because... there's a chance I might have acquired some new planet data to give him to up our profit factor even more. Where are we? I guess we're in the bar already. That's fine. We'll do it when we leave. Where's Jay gonna be? There she is. You easily spot Jay and the group crowded around the table. The extravagant luxury of her attire and her gleaming augment set her apart from the rest. Seeing you, she exclaims, "Oh, may the gravitational wells on your world never lack for grip, just as my heart never lacks for joy at the sight of Rogue Trader von Valancius." Octaviana. With an approving chuckle, Octaviana mutters, "Can't believe you actually wrote the Rogue Trader into coming to your party. If the Rogue Trader raises a toast to your health, I'll start to believe you really are a princess, and not just a smuggler with the gift of the gab. Please take a seat, your ladyship." Alright. Octaviana draws out a bottle from under the table. The glass is as thick as your finger and covered in wax seals. With no exaggeration, this is the finest Amasec that has ever graced this bar. Jay personally acquired it, as she says, for a special occasion. It seems that you are the special occasion, your ladyship. The crowd around the table falls silent, exchanging awkward looks. It would appear that they are unaccustomed to drinking in the presence of lofty individuals such as you. So these are your associates? The precious roses in the garden of my soul and the golden little bees that bring honeyed riches to my treasure house. Yes, this is my crew of cold traders. The two identical ones are the trickster twins, my closest associates, Kor, our resident hothead, and his much wiser sister, Tora. Don't let her fool you, your ladyship. She's only calling us a precious rose. Calling us... What? She's only calling me a precious rose because you're here. When it's just us, I'm lucky if I get that arsehole with the gun. Kor chuckles good-naturedly. Because you are the arsehole with the gun. If I dragged you out of as many scrapes as Jay has, that's not the name I'd be using for you, I can tell you that much. Kor's sister rolls her eyes. Pay no attention to Pay no attention to him, your ladyship? Kor is nobody to blame but himself for that nickname. What were you talking about before I got here? Business. My dear Tora, whose mind never strays from the chilly peaks of the mountains of money she's made, was telling me the latest cold trade news. Exciting times are upon us. We're not the only ones being tested for weak spots. Vladaim's set on putting the Ultraquisitors out of business, and it looks like he's got Mercy's blessing to do it. The big beasts are picking off the small ones. I think things are only going to get more interesting from here on out. Well, that means it's time for us to step up and become major players, eh? Cor winks at Jay. I know a couple of Chegnars from the Ultra-Requisitioners. They're as dry as you like. We could tell them to cool their heels with us, and they'll be more willing at the other altars. We could take on Falco and even blow Vladaim out the airlock too. God, my sweet, before you go chewing Vaseline with Chegnars, you need to clear the altar and hide the pulses. If Vladaim's playing all the lines, he won't touch me, but I don't want to shift the risk onto you. There is chatter about the commission. The conversation quickly turns into an impenetrable mishmash of terms from the secret argot of coal traders. Alright, well let's drink to Jay. The assembled group burst into approving cheers and the bar fills with the sound of clinking glasses. The Amasek tastes exorbitantly expensive, sweeping you into a kaleidoscope of flavours. Tart, floral bitterness, honeyed sweetness, and then other, far more refined sensations that are nameless, owing to the small number who can afford to experience them. Bravo, Octi. This Amasek will do me very well indeed. Jay's self-satisfied reply elicits general laughter, and the tension at the table seems to loosen slightly. Hello? Falco. The man who has just approached the table is hideous by anyone's standards. A repulsive face, greasy hair and bulging veins at his temples. His attempt at an amiable smile is so transparently false and off-putting that your fingers itch to reach for your weapon. With a surprised look askance at you, he says, Mistress Hidari, allow me to wish you a happy Amorica. Master Mercy could not let such an occasion go unmarked. He sends his warm wishes and a gift. Got the noble-born mantle. We don't know what it does. Oh, Falco, I am much obliged and touched by your presence. May the fire in your hearth burn forever bright, and hot like the stars of the Gremnor system. Tell Mercy that the show of his precious attention toward my humble self brought dew to my eyes and a song to my heart. Isn't Falco the one who stole Jay's cargo? Very same, the greasy piece of grok shit. Octaviana says, wearing the sweetest, most amiable smile one could imagine. But the stars of the Gremnor system all died around 100,000 years ago, and the systems around them are a true great breeding ground of death. So what did Jay say? Forever bright and hot like the stars of Gremnor system. Right, okay. Who is this Mercy? Oh, some big mysterious figure in the mission. The Casbalicas put him here to keep a handle on things and to make sure the interests of the senior partners aren't forgotten. If anyone does become a bit forgetful, Mercy comes along, somebody dies, everyone else panics and empties their pockets. Falco and Mercy aren't officially connected. Falco's just another prosperous mission agent like Jay and other people. Falco's happy to do Mercy's dirty work for him, and that's why he gets preferential treatment. Is it customary in the Casbalica to attend the parties of people you have tried to ruin? After you got involved in their turf war, they all decided that a peaceful resolution would be for the best. This here is a symbolic confirmation of the ceasefire. Where is your present for Jay, Falco? The smuggler stares at you unblinkingly with his pale eyes, saying nothing. Then he rearranges his mouth into a smile, remarkable in its hideousness. Of course, your ladyship, and this gift is from me personally, Mistress Hidari. Okay. As Falco turns away from the table, you see a snarl of feral hatred twist his already repulsive features. Even foes are bowing down before Jay Hidari. That is something worth celebrating. And what better way to celebrate than with a game? With stakes, naturally. Today is my America, and that's what I want. Jay draws a stack of carved plasteel tiles from her pocket. They're decorated with symbols and fine maglines. Holding the tiles in one hand and raising her glass with another, Jay asks, What do you think, Shireen? Does the rogue trader have anything she's willing to wager? Imperium test succeeded. You recognize the tiles in Jay's hand. It is a set for Tanto Lo, a game popular among gamblers. Each player is dealt several tiles which can be arranged into a pattern of a specific value by carefully matching up the maglines. Whoever has the highest value wins. Voidsmen love playing Tanto Lo, which is usually won by luck or skill. I guess most games are, generally. Yes, I shall play. Watch out for her ladyship, lads. She was awfully quick to agree just now. I have a sneaking suspicion about how the rogue trader acquired all her countless riches. But I'll warn you now, playing for money is considered wrong on Efreet, because gaming is tempting fate. So instead we're going to play for wishes. A pile of tiles is placed in front of you and the other players. Okay, logic 15. Oh, 100%. You have been dealt a poor hand. You cannot make a high-value arrangement from the tiles. Glancing at her tiles and grinning, Jay declares resolutely, I'm going to show my hand. The exalted one loves me today. And if one doesn't show one's hand, what then? Then you have a chance to bow out of the game without losing. But you can only do that before someone announces they're going to show their hand. She could be bluffing. Ah, no luck. Chuckling, Jay tosses her tiles onto the table. Her hand is significantly better than yours or anyone else's. And for my wish, I want everyone to drink to my good fortune. It has already granted me a gift fit for a queen. I am talking about you, Shireen. May fortune continue to smile upon me. Everyone at the table eagerly raises their glasses. You join in before you are even aware you've done so. A new stack of tiles is already waiting for you on the table. You realize that moments have skipped past without your knowing. It seems the Amasek is somewhat stronger than you thought. 97%. Now, this one is definitely a good hand. One of the best you can get. When you look up, you see that everyone else apart from Jay has already tossed their tiles onto the table in disappointment. It's just us two left, Shireen. I'm going to show my hand. Read them and weep. Sight of your hand sets everyone at the table into a flurry of excitement, but then the chatter turns into a roar of triumph. Jay's hand is the most valuable in the game. I win again. What should I wish of you, Shireen? We're not going to romance Jay. Given your profession, I would extract a promise of my assistance should you ever find yourself in trouble in the future. You promised to save me. What an exciting adventure that could turn out to be. It is almost worth getting into trouble for. I accept your stake. Tiles are dispersed around the table, forming piles in front of each player. You suddenly feel your body grow heavy. The treacherous Amasek is slowly robbing you of your clarity of thought and dexterity. Alright, we'll do another one. We have a mid hand. It is the kind of hand played only by someone who is desperate and has nothing left to bet. Before anyone says they're showing their hand, I'm announcing a condition. Seeing as it is my America today, the only stake I'll play for is a dance. Let's try and cheat. You reach for your goblet and accidentally catch a spare tile with your elbow, sweeping it into your free hand. Now you have an excellent set of tiles, but you would swear that Jay saw your little move. She saw it and said nothing. I'll play. Glancing at her hand, Jay discards her own tiles face down. Mine are worse. It looks like you've won, Shireen. I'll be delighted to grant you a wish. The light plays on Jay's dark skin and glints off the silver augmetic on her throat. Moving with the grace of a sand snake, she holds your gaze and smiles mischievously. Her dark curls fall across her face, and you see the saucy glint in her eyes through her alluring curtain of hair. Watching her dance for a moment. I wouldn't say she's as agile as a sand snake. But okay. This dance is called the dance of the captive Ravanian girl. When the governor of Efreet Selimkhan the Bright crushed the Ravanian rebellion, the daughter of the rebel leader was brought to him, the beautiful Nyana. She danced for him, telling him of the struggle of her proud people, and they snatched a weapon from the guard's hands and aimed it at Selimkhan. But the spark of love that had kindled between them that day stopped the Faisalian from igniting in the cartridge, and both Nyana and Selimkhan lived through that day, and then many more days which they spent together. Well, that's enough betting for me. My luck's very fickle today. Unlike Amasek, you can always trust Amasek. It always lies. Smiling sweetly, Jay presses the goblet into your hand. Her skin seems to glow from within, and the sparks of laughter in her eyes dance like flames. Alright, time for me to go. How fleeting are moments of happiness, Shireen. Go, but know that you are always welcome at Jay Harari's table. Alright. Well, let's have a look. Has the journal updated on that? Okay, I think we're done. Time for us to leave.
The world trembles beneath my feet.
Alright, so I want to go to the dock. I think that's about the only place I want to go. Quest completed. Okay, so let us... I want to go and talk to Opticon, who's... Oh, he's near here, I think, isn't he? Got some planetary data. Profit factor 1. I think we're up to 84 now. That seems pretty good. I mean, I dare say we might gain some, lose some
The world will
as we go, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't want those. Okay, so in terms of where I want to go next, I think there's a few things to do. One of which, there was a system in an earlier video. It was probably a few days ago now. But I apparently clicked on a planet. There was like an event icon, and I totally missed it and just skipped over it. Thought it was an empty planet. So I'd quite like to go back there. I think it was... I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the system. When I see it, I will recognise it. It's like Maleficum or something like that. There was this one, Mortis Aces, on where Viabos is. Okay, that's quite far. What else do we want to do? We want to get... There's a system called Cinder something that they were going to go and have this fight at. I kind of want to know what this To the Imperium one is as well. I wonder if it's worth a couple of Navigator insight points to check it out. Can't see this one where he's asking us to go. What does it say in the journal? Probable location, Lapidus Mortis. Oh. Okay, we got 3. Lapidus Mortis, Last Chance of Serene, Litoribum Maledicta. Okay, so there's 3 systems here he could be in. Slightly annoyingly, we're going to be there. I could use a couple of... Well, I'd have to use 5 points to make a bridge between them, it seems. Or we could go from here and spend a couple of points just kind of making that route safe. I probably will do that. I'm intrigued by this. I haven't done it yet. I've no idea what we're going to find here. To the Imperium.
Lord Captain, they're ever on the line. The astropaths are going crazy in their little chamber. They're reporting severe warp disturbances along our intended route. It looks like the moor is completely impassable. Yeah, I've seen this before, yeah. And if you ask me, going in there is not a good idea. For us or any other void ship.
So you're saying that not only will I break through the moor to the Imperium, but I will cover myself in glory as the conqueror of the raging warp. Forward! Oh no, I thought I was joking.
I'll see to it, Lord Captain. The Emperor protects.
Oh dear. By the grace of the Emperor, I have been charged with chronicling the voyage that my blessed commander, Lord Captain Dahlia von Brunicus, intends to undertake through the turbid tract of the warp known as the Moor. The thought of what lies ahead fills our souls with terror, but we all have faith in the light of the Emperor. May his protection be with us now. Lord Captain, we once again draw your attention to the fact that the warp region of the Moor is more turbulent than usual. The Diviner's vigil portends death for us, and much worse besides. This is not our first decade perceiving the void, and we have seen terrible storms, but none like this. We beseech you, please have mercy on us. If that be not your will, we stand ready to serve until the end. After offering up the requisite prayers, the crew received a vox address from the blessed Lord Captain, in which our commander... I'm gonna ditch this. I don't want to destroy myself. So ends the chronicle of the abortive expedition into the depths of the Moor. In her wisdom, our blessed lady took mercy on her loyal servants and shielded them from the horrors of the raging immaterium. Whatever tribulations await us here in the Cronus Expanse, we will meet them with honour and not perish in the roiling Empyrean. Glory to the Emperor. Maybe we'll end up going there later in the campaign. Maybe you have to kind of prepare for it. I don't know, but it didn't seem wise to do that right now. We could go back to Dargonus and meet with the navigators. That seems like a good thing to do. I'm just going to check on the colonies. Oh, we've got to go to Janus as well for this thing. That's kind of on the way, so that's not too bad. Oh, we've got this. That's done. Okay. What else can we do? Doctrine of Rationality. Doesn't rule anything out, so sure, we'll do that. Viabos, Dreamless is done. So we'll do... Ooh, there's loads here. Warp Guides? Why not? Anything that doesn't rule out anything else will do. So Janus is... here. Good, that's kind of on the way. And then we've got Dargonus up there, which can also kind of be en route. Yeah, okay, that's our route then. So let's go here first. Seen that one before. We've seen this one loads. Ballistic skill, fire on the vessel. Vanished. Okay, let's go and see this. I'm pretty sure when we did this the last time, we didn't get like any text at all to kind of explain what had happened. I'm hoping that was just a bug. We've got some trophies. Raiders from the Reaving Tempest Cabal are pillaging the region, terrifying the inhabitants with their unpredictability and elusiveness. Live bait. Sacrificing a few dozen people, the dynasty's servants succeed in catching and destroying the Xenos. Right. Okay. Onwards. We actually will be landing on Dargonus if we're going to go and meet with the Navis nobility. Where are we going up there? So, this one. Do this one. There we go. I mean, I don't mind this really. You get a little bit of experience when you resolve them, even if you've seen them before. Right, let's jump in. Oh, that's done. Get another one going. Okay, these ones are starting to block other ones now, so we need to think about what is our preferred thing that we do. I quite liked this one, but which is that going to lead to down here? All allies gain 5% melee damage and 20%... Oh, yeah, that's not bad. Whenever the wearer performs a Owlcat, they recover all their wounds and gain 2 AP this turn. I'll be honest, that's pretty good. Or grenades. I'm not that fussed about grenades, honestly. So that's probably the least one, but I don't mind this one. So we would need Shield of the Emperor, which is this one. 5% critical hit chance against pirates. I mean, it's not terrible. I just quite like this scrap one. Getting more rep with the Imperial Navy is quite nice as well, though. So that melee damage is really only applicable to Abelard. All right, well let's do this one then. I like the Navy rep. This one's okay, but these boots you get later on are pretty good, so we'll do that. Meanwhile, I expect Vivos has finished theirs as well. Here we go. Oh, this blocks one. Oh, I probably want that, to be fair. So, vigilance. Oh, yeah, that's the melter attack on a ring. Okay. So these all kind of block things. Don't really mind about those, but what are kind of the ultimate ones we want to work towards here? The cannoneers recruited from the warlike tribes are noted for their outstanding marksmanship. Torpedoes deal 15% more damage. I mean, that's pretty good. Great chain axe. I mean, it's good. I feel like Abelard's already got pretty good stuff, though. Plus, I've just given him like a dual wield kind of setup. All allies gain 5 ballistic skills and 5% damage to ranged attacks. So we need ergonomics for this. So that's the one I was kind of least fussed about. So which one do we want? We kind of want... Of those, I like the killing fields. So which one leads to killing fields? We need to have done ergonomics. So we can't do this one. That's fine. And I guess these three are kind of blocking off others as well. So I like the extractium. That one's alright. This one I'm not that fussed about. So I think we'll do this one to get the... oh, was it that one? Yeah, I think it's that one to get the rep with... Well, the extractiums and the rep with the explorators. Oh, let's do that. Okay, Dargonistan. Let's go to the palace. Yeah, we'll go in with the usual crew. Alright, we're going to run all the way out to our palace now. It's not far. Starting to be a little bit worn down by the sheer weight of all the loading screens. And I'm trying to shield you guys from the bulk of that, to be honest. And hopefully that's helping, but... Like for that last one, we could have transported straight to the palace. Instead I've had to run across a map I have no wish to be in, just to go into another loading screen that again kind of sits there for like 30 seconds. Which, is kind of time I didn't need to spend looking at a loading screen, so it's a bit disappointing. I guess we talked to Clementia, who doesn't seem to be purple anymore, which is good. No, she's purple again. Your ladyship? Clementia looks away from her data slate. I hope your stay on Dargonis will be beneficial to your physical and mental state. I understand that the heir to a protectorate must have their hands full, but one shouldn't forget about rest. What about meeting with the navigators of House Orselio? Allow me to report. The esteemed navigators of House Orselio have taken residence in the guest estate and await a meeting with you. How would you like to receive them? We lose a profit factor. Alright, well, let's impress them. Understood, your ladyship. Clementia promptly makes a note on her data slate. Would you like to hold this meeting shortly? Yes, Cassie and I are ready, I think. Then I'll have the messengers sent to retrieve the esteemed guests. Interesting we're taking the entire group, but okay. Oh, another loading screen. Regent Aronto Orselio, esteemed delegation. The rogue trader and the Von Valancia's protectorate welcome you. Come this way, please. And then... Another loading screen. Great. The esteemed representatives of the Navis nobility have arrived at the Rogue Trader's court, the regent of the great house Orselio, Aronto Orselio. His companions, Lady Glyceria Orselio, Navigator Liso Simone Orselio, and his intended bride, Lady Navigator Alexandrina Orselio, Lady Navigator Elena Hateria Orselio, and Navigator Danax Orselio. A tall, wizened old man proudly stares at you with milky, unblinking eyes. Loose skin sways with his every move as if the navigator's flesh has detached from his bones. An unsightly hole marks the regent's face where his nose should be, and the old man's skull is covered in spiky growths.
Rogue Trader.
The regent's piercing voice cuts through the silence. I guess that wasn't particularly piercing. Rogue Trader, on behalf of House Orselio, we would like to express our immense satisfaction at this meeting and our gratitude for the warm welcome. It pleases us to know that there are still ladies in the Cronus Expanse who observe etiquette and the traditions of hospitality. And yet this is not why we are here. Our Grace is obliged to note how much the Rogue Trader has done for House Orselio by protecting its beloved child. We waited for many turns to behold her radiant visage. The regent shifts his unblinking gaze to Cassia. Come now, child, there is much we need to discuss. Cassia steps forward but then stops and looks at you. Fine. Cassia smiles faintly and addresses the regent. Esteemed regent, it pleases me to see the gleaming sheen of gold and turquoise above your brow. It is thanks to the efforts of the Rogue Trader that I stand here today, and there is so much I want to tell you. But what is it that you desire to hear most? We know what happened at the station, child. Your connection to the Atlas has grown so strong, we felt the turmoil in your soul, and the events that transpired have shaken us. House Orselio is deeply grateful to the Rogue Trader for the destruction of the saboteurs, and we are willing to reciprocate such a magnanimous gesture. We trust that a treaty of friendship and alliance underpinned by the transfer of several artifacts of exceeding rarity will suffice. Now, come, child, it is time we depart for your new home so that we may finish what we started. Esteemed Regent, perhaps I could continue my education while still accompanying the Rogue Trader on her travels. Just imagine how much I could learn beyond the bounds of, Cassia notices the Regent's furious glare and falls short. Cassia, I would be honoured if you decided to stay. Unthinkable! Oh.
Don't just stand there. Help the Rogue Trader defend the child and the palace!
Down with Tisiphone's tyranny! Kill the girl!
Who's Tisiphone?
The absurdity of your struggle amuses me.
You dare cross the faithful?
You dare cross the faithful? Not on my watch any road.
Alright, well, we'll get as far forward as we can. Abelard, you can go and smack somebody around. Cassia, you might be able to do some damage here. Pascal, be there. Ireliette, somewhere on that side, and Argenta. She's going pretty soon, actually. Let's just stick her here. And I think that's everyone, isn't it? Yeah. Right, Cassia, why don't we group up some folks? Line of sight's a bit weird. Why don't we come around this candlestick?
Be careful not to cross my gaze.
Alright, a bit weird. I guess it'll have to do.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Where are you going?
Oh, my ears are ringing.
Oh. Why are they shooting through us? Gits. Great. So you managed to include us in all of that. Brilliant. Thanks a bunch. Goodness sake. Alright, we'll give that to Dahlia. Oh. Oh. Okay.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Oh, let's just bring her back.
Step aside. The navigator is coming.
Great. Okay, this is a little bit of a pickle.
Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it.
I think we take care of you first. Not.
As the Emperor commands, I am.
Kicked him to death. There we go. Alright, let's maybe do
I'll
one
do
of
it.
these. If we were to go somewhere like this, we might be able to get both those guys.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
Except I don't have a burst. Oh, maybe we could do this.
This is why I was chosen. I will endure.
Okay, Abelard, what have we got? This bodyguard. We can actually go where he's got. Oh,
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
okay. Let's take a freebie.
Victory is imminent.
He was on fire. Okay, fainting attack. Sworn enemy.
It will be done.
Yeah, I think we smack him.
At your beck and call.
I don't have the dual wield thing yet, so we can't do that. But we could do this.
I will do my duty. At your beck and call. It will be done. I've suffered worse.
Oh, she's right in melee with here. Yeah, we'll
Swift
move.
and silent.
An unworthy soul.
Okay, well, let's do that. What's this? That's pretty good, actually. If we put the prey on a couple of high-value targets.
If I must.
Not that one.
This tedium is beneath me.
Is there anyone else you can see? She can see that guy, I suppose. Right, so let's do that.
If it serves your cause.
Alright, so let's make some shots on them.
Fall, creatures! Fortune favors the swift.
Bad. Guess we get one of those back.
I am not your Xenos pet, monkey.
So we should be able to kill him. Claim the bounty on him.
I understand your intent. I deal death with my hands.
Mind myself what that gets me. Oh, two more AP. Good. Good. Okay, we'll put a vulnerability on her then.
If it
Some
serves
shot.
your cause.
Colour of old. And we'll shoot her.
No weakness is hidden from my sight.
Okay. Me. difficult for me on them because there's a lot of allies around.
Amidst the carnage, I find purpose.
Well, we can immediately put some fire damage on folks, but what I could do... Right, well, let's do
One
this.
step closer.
Oh, I can't do that now. Right, didn't realise that. Why don't you be on fire? Could have done it the other way around, I guess. I guess that's me. She does not like Abelard.
From the ashes, I will rise.
Getting a taste of my own medicine fighting this navigator.
Get to the heretics! The glory of the Imperium!
It's me again. Yeah, well, let's move.
Ravage and conquer.
Chuck one of these fire grenades on this guy.
Purpose guides me.
Gonna
I
flame
need
people.
no gun.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
What else could I do?
A blood-soaked tribute.
High momentum.
Pascal, we'll probably kill this guy. Well, we've got... How many people are burning? Only one currently. Well, that'll be over soon. Might as well do it. Oh, they went in range. I forgot about the range.
Activate calculated fury algorithm. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Request approved. My vow is to serve.
Yeah, didn't kill him.
Die!
I have read tomes of military tactics. If I may,
That did... Why didn't that do anything? Oh, just bloody hit her then.
isn't this a job for the serfs? Try to die with grace, at least.
Give our gentry
I'll
another go.
paint your death in colors.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone. Each strike is a prayer.
I know you're already on fire, but
Faith
have some more
without
fire.
deeds is worthless.
Mercy! The Lady Navigator covers her face with her disfigured scaly hands, each with an extra finger and conjoined phalangeal bones. Her clothes are covered in blood, mostly that of your servants, and several unexploded bolts are sticking out of her chest plate. Rogue Trader, whether on purpose or out of ignorance, you are harbouring a monster that is cunningly pretending to be an innocent maid. Spare me, and I, Elena Hateria Orselio, will swear to tell you the whole truth about the madness that is devouring House Orselio like a malignant tumour. Do not let the Regent deceive you with honeyed lies, lest the cursed child ruin your protectorate as well. You see rage and despair in the Lady Navigator's face, but neither is directed at you. I will hear what you wish to tell me. Thank you for your lenience, Rogue Trader. It makes sense to hear her out, right? The unnaturally bulbous eyes of the Navigator constantly shift between you and Cassia. Black secretions run down her cheeks instead of tears, leaving unsightly streaks. I, Elena Hatteria of House Orselio, swear to tell the Rogue Trader nothing but the truth. May the God Emperor be my witness. Pathetic. Silence. With all due respect, House Orselio has hardly covered itself in glory thus far today. It's time its representatives answered before the Rogue Trader. Execute them. Lady Elena, what do you have to say in your defence? I do not know what it is you wish to learn, but I will start from the very beginning. A long time ago, Tisiphone ascended to the throne of House Orselio. She was a daring Novator who brought part of the house to the Expanse, hoping to strengthen our position in the Imperium. The house prospered, but Tisiphone was never satisfied. She went mad in her pursuit of power, seeking more influence, more control, and she saw enemies everywhere, even among her loyal followers. Paranoia was slowly driving Tisiphone insane, and one day she created the Starway Atlas, a relic that is implanted in our bodies at birth, a noose around our necks, our gift and our damnation. Tisiphone used the Atlas to control us, subdue our will, and mould our thoughts. If anyone put a toe out of line, she killed them with a glance. At first, many branches of House Orselio tried to resist her tyranny, and Tisiphone cut them down with extreme brutality. For example, the entire Sethala branch was destroyed simply because its leaders asked too many questions about the Atlas and wanted to know the truth about its creation. Alright, I understand her transgressions, but what does this have to do with Lady Cassia? Tisiphone passed her Atlas on to her successor before fleeing the house. To a newborn child, we could not surrender the throne to the tyrant's creature. Tisiphone was cunning and treacherous. She must have hatched the entire plan beforehand. Her disappearance, the child, the transfer of the leash. We feared that one day she would be reborn in Cassia's body, and we could not let that happen. You call Cassia a monster because of Tisiphone's Atlas? Largely yes, but there is more. Have you never felt pure, unadulterated disgust while standing close to her? Or perhaps fury or fear? Who but a monster would manipulate the minds and feelings of others, even more so than Tisiphone did herself? Why now? Tisiphone always had plenty of opponents, but we were afraid to trust one another. Any of us could be spying for her followers. We saved our strength and dealt the first blow 5 years after the heir was born, striking at one of the estates on Ir-Ti Vi. But the girl survived, and Regent Oronto hid her so far away and guarded her so thoroughly it took us another 13 years to find her. And then another 2 to get into the Regent's good graces and reach Urak 5. Now Cassia is in the spotlight, and the House Council is about to put her on the throne. Surely there is no better time to cut off the serpent's head. So you admit Regent Oronto was not aware of the assassination attempt? Regent Oronto was guilty of mass killings, intimidation, inhuman torture, abetting Tisiphone, and raising her heir. His crimes are many, but one is not among them. I'd love to see his head on the chopping block, but honour prohibits me from slandering him in a trial before the Rogue Trader. I think I've heard enough. The Rogue Trader now knows about the Regent's atrocities and the girl's corruption. I hope I succeeded in warning you about the danger that lurks within Cassia Orselio. Regent Oronto, representatives of your house made an attempt on her life and attacked a Rogue Trader. Rogue Trader, House Orselio humbly asks for your lenience and forgiveness. We could not even imagine these vile rats could be scurrying among our ranks. As for them sneaking into the Rogue Trader's palace and staging an unthinkable crime, God Emperor be our witness. The accursed renegades seek to spark a feud between our houses. I believe you, Regent Oronto, and yet this is now the second attempt that has been made on Cassia's life. I need answers. We're ready to tell you everything we know so that this misunderstanding can be remedied as quickly as possible. Tell me more about the renegades. They are madmen who seek to destroy the centuries-old traditions of our great house, so carefully nurtured by the previous Novator, Tisiphone Orselio. They deem the century of her rule a tyranny, and our most sacred relic a curse that must be destroyed. Fools! If the Atlas were to be destroyed, the whole of House Orselio would follow it into oblivion. Why do they want to destroy it? They dread her power, for only a Novator can fully grasp the mysteries and harness the power of the Starway Atlas. What the renegades call a leash, we call a guiding star. So why are people trying to kill her? Everyone in the house knows the child is the keeper of the one true Starway Atlas, which once belonged to our great Novator. The ungrateful wretches secretly hated her grace, and when Tisiphone abdicated her responsibilities and set off for parts unknown, they staged a revolt to destroy her successor. Does she really carry the Atlas? We believe it with all our heart. The Novator spent many cycles on the world where the child was born. It is said that everyone who witnessed the miracle of her birth simultaneously departed for a destination known only to the Novator. Tisiphone gave the order and followed them soon after, leaving her precious gift, the Atlas, to Cassia, and therefore marking her as her successor. It looks like House Orselio has fallen on hard times. To call your statement false would be a lie. For many years we managed to maintain the fragile balance within our house, but then the Novator's departure shook the faith of many. The treasury is empty, the navigators are scattered, the warp routes are scrambled, and many of our allies cannot be reached. Which is why it is so important to complete the child's education. It is Cassia's duty to take Tisiphone's place and lead the house to prosperity. Such is her great destiny. What do you know about Cassia's power? A special gift for a special child. She was born with it and grew up under his influence. The instability sometimes hampered her education, but we learned to prevent most outbursts. As long as the child remains calm and in seclusion, the powers cannot take hold of her mind. I've heard enough. Lady Cassia, you too are an injured party in this. What would you do in my place? If I may speak, so many dirty colours have poured from the mouths of those present that I feel covered in filth from head to toe. I, as the future Novator, I want to bleach them, purify them, and let them go. Heed me. I am the one to blame for what happened today, and I accept full responsibilities for the actions of my house. She speaks bravely and openly, though her hands are shaking a little. Vile wretch! Who do you think you are? Will you now start killing those who have displeased you as Tisiphone did before you? The fury on Alina's face gives way to desperation once she realizes what she just said. She slowly reaches for the atlas embedded in her chest, looking at Cassia with obvious fear. Hearers, child, the burden is too heavy for you to shoulder alone. You are not yet ready. I implore you to settle this conflict. I implore you. To settle this conflict, I offer the rogue trader a 100-year contract with House Orselio, committing us to charting the shortest and safest routes for the Von Valancia's protectorate within the Coronis Expanse. I will also remain aboard the rogue trader's vessel and assist her until she decides otherwise, or until duty to the house summons me to the Novator's seat. I accept your offer, Lady Cassia. Thank you, Dahlia von Brunicus. Rogue Trader. So be it. We failed to notice that our child had grown up and become strong. You may stay with the Rogue Trader until the house summons you. Her influence is anomalous, but it has served to bring out Blessed Tisiphone's most precious talent, the talent of leadership. Rogue Trader, we are now bound by the terms of the contract. Your representatives may contact House Orselio at any time, and we will respond. And one more thing. Protect the child like the apple of your eye. Remember that you have the future Novator of a Navis Nobility House aboard your vessel. Well, there we go. That was interesting. Is there more to do on that? Talk to Cassia. Okay, so we're going to talk with her on the bridge. That's fine. I guess we'll do that. I might pause it here while I'm just doing all the running across maps and going to the ship, and we'll come back when I'm on the bridge. Okay, we're here. Let's go talk to Cassia. I think she generally hangs around the front of the bridge near the comm stations. Well, I don't know if they are comm stations, to be honest. She's here anyway.
It is so fortunate you have come. I admit I was seeking you out myself. After the events on Dargonis, It felt like an anthracite grey mantle had dropped on my shoulders. I spent a long time thinking about our very first meeting and what happened next. I cannot wait to shake off this dreary color. It was very naive of me to follow in the footsteps of the man who raised me in a gilded cage. And I was deaf to the needs of my own house. But you opened my eyes. As the future Novateur, I must gain wisdom to restore House Orselio to its former glory, no matter the cost. Thank you. It will be an honor to keep guiding your vessel through the Sea of Souls, for as long as the needs of our dynasties are aligned.
Alright, why don't we talk about something else?
You will hear no objection from me, Lord Captain.
You didn't mention this Starway Atlas thing.
I would never reveal this secret to an outsider, but you have come to my aid more than once already. The Starway Atlas is a sacred artifact of House Orselio. It helps our navigators chart a course through the warp. This crystal, the Atlas, has been inside me for as long as I can remember, giving me strength. But the others... I noticed the renegades in the palace were choked by ashen ghosts of despair when we met face to face. I swear the ghosts were reaching for their atlases.
So the Atlas is some kind of crystal that is implanted in the navigators at birth.
But my Atlas is much more powerful than the others. It's the Atlas of Tisiphone herself. That is what people have whispered behind my back my whole life, although no one knew for certain. But I always suspected. I simply did not wish to admit it to myself.
Certain navigators in your house fear the Atlas's power.
Certain navigators in my house have tried to kill me more than once. But the tales of Tisiphone's brutality, I am beginning to wonder. What if they are all true? What if I will be a new tormentor to those who serve me?
Well, thank you for telling me.
Thank you for listening.
That'll do for now.
I have enjoyed your company. Thank you for the conversation.
Alright. Alright, one more thing. I want to go to this planet that I accidentally skipped over previously, and we'll see what that little point of interest is. It's not too far from here. If it's a landing party mission, we'll do it in the next episode, though. It might just be a little bit of text. Ends with a bit of a reward or something. You never know. Yeah, it's just up here. A couple of jumps away. How are the colonies doing? Have they finished their stuff? Oh, that's not it. Oh, Kiova Gamma! Maybe at some point. I'm not running off there now. Oh yeah, they're still working on it. Oh no, we've done one here. Yay! Extractiums. So I think it was ergonomics was the one I wanted to do. Not so much for this reward, which is fine. The chance is always nice. But it's... Here's this one. Was it this one? Was it this one? Just needs ergonomics. Yeah, okay. Is that what I wanted? 5% damage to range attack. I mean, it is good, isn't it? So do you just need to make sure we've done ergonomics? There we go. Get that underway. Anyway, let's jump into the system. So this Savannah world, I don't know why I overlooked it. It was right there. I guess my eyes were on something else on the screen, possibly. I've done it. I must have done it. I must have done it previously when I went back to Virbos. Okay. I guess I don't need to do that one then. So This is what happens when you record a few episodes ahead. Well, in my case, quite a few. Things that you missed before, you've already caught that you missed, you went back and done, but then you've forgotten that you've done them. If you catch my drift. I mean, is there any value to joining these, or shall I just not be lazy and just go around the long way? I'm going to go around the long way, maybe. Or I could... I suppose I could maybe come here. Our colonies are ready to do something else. Lord Captain, we have received a report from Dargonus. Some common folk from the now ruined Scipione 84249 have succumbed to the heresy of defiance. Forming into engine vandals gangs, they now ride among the wasteland on the wasteland-adapted cleaning Goliaths. They have declared themselves outside the law, raiding the hive's outskirts only to escape retribution in the toxic wastelands. Despite your act of grace, these ungrateful heretics are fleeing the hives, abandoning their workstations and inciting others to do the same. They even dare to spread lies and slander, stating that they are being used as slaves. So great are the appetites of the yesterday's refugees. Rumour has it that the Brigadier clan, in charge of the debris removal in the fields of Scipione, keep in contact. We could pass on your words to the renegades via the Brigadiers, or force them to disclose the locations of the rebels' nomadic camps. What do the advisors say? If the engine vandals have managed to tame the ancient machine spirits, then that means there are technomats or even tech priests among their ranks. That renders them negotiable. It would be efficient to utilize such renegades instead of disposing of them. A promise of reward for every piece of technology found in the wastelands of Dargonus and returned back to Dynasty will ensure their obedience and tractability. If you wish to exterminate the Melantak, do not waste your time on hunting them down. Instead, deceive them into defeating each other with a prize, a weapon or a trophy that they can fight for. After all the monkey are finished slicing each other up for the right to obtain it, your warrior shall finish the deed. This tactic proves itself to be very useful against your kind. The aristocrats of Dargonus despise them, but they are also secretly afraid of them, correct? Renegades that can invoke such fear. I wonder, if I had exiles like this on my home, would they have curbed the ambitions of my brothers and sisters? Would they have supported me in the case of conflict? Oh, I am scheming and conspiring right now, am I not? Bravo, Lady Cassia. Do not be ashamed of the unique abilities bestowed upon you by your heritage. They are your birthright. Well, we're not going to do earlier Swam. Wasteland Generator. Let's have a quick look at what that is. Torpedo tubes capable of firing 5 short-burning plasma torpedoes with 19 damage warheads. I mean, no, that's not something we're going to use. I like the torpedoes we've got. Get a +1 to security, no loss of anything. Wasteland Twister. What's this? It's a power two-handed weapon. Yeah. Yeah, go on, we'll do that one. I'm still naive of even the basics in these games played by the powerful, but my intuition tells me this is a winning strategy. A meeting with the leaders of engine vandals was organised via the Brigadier clan. They've gladly accepted your proposal to serve. Having received weapons and information, the engine vandals slaughtered several brash and troublesome aristocrats in a few successful raids, sowing fear and reliance on the rogue traders' protection. The roar of their engines was like snapping a whip over the heads of frightened cattle. Okay. I'm never sure whether I've done the right thing whenever these things happen. Now, I'm not sure this was something we were that fussed about. Blocks cast Balakan auction, which I think we've probably already done. Profits for war. Okay. It was this that I wanted to do though. Yeah, let's do that now so we get the Imperial Navy rep. Lord Captain, the mines of Vehicle 6 are once again in turmoil. At the depths of level MD Zeta-05, the warders have discovered a mountain of mutilated bodies, as if crushed by the millstones of the mining machines. All the dead are convicts. The guards believe that there is a cult of heretics operating in the ranks of slaves, offering human sacrifices. The convicts themselves claim that this atrocity was committed on the order of the superintendent to rid the prison of the more inconvenient prisoners. The superintendent tried to reason with the mob of slaves, but was mauled instead. His desecrated remains were found inside the cells where the prisoners were being tortured during the interrogation of the strange convicts. The wardens have managed to isolate the rebels inside the mining facilities, but an assault would result in high losses of workforce. On the other hand, the slaves are ready to lay down their weapons and cease this violence and repent if the rogue trader would only demonstrate some compassion towards their plight, possibly by reforming some of the more severe punishments. What do you think, brothers, officers and advisors? Shireen, if the governor and a pack of wardens cannot handle their duties, should they not take the place of their wards? And could there not be worthy administrators among those who oppose them? Those who could do better? That's terrible advice. A mob of commoners has mauled a noble man who has been attempting to reason with them. How awful. Perhaps the underground madness has spread among them and assumed a new form, turning them into monsters in the process. It would be cruel to kill them if this is the case. It is much more humane to dissect their brains, in order to well-meaningly reduce their ferocity and inclination towards disobedience. It had once been done in my house when the serfs had rebelled in their ignorance, a rather merciful step. Oh god, those are my choices? No, I don't like that. Oh, god. All allies gain 3% critical hit chance. I mean, that is a pretty good bonus. Keen mind. Alright, dissect the brains. The slaves who had their brains dissected have lost any urge to cause violence and provoke others. Now they find quiet pleasure in monotonous work and lack of communication with other people. The officers noted that the experiment has been highly successful. The interrogation also did not yield any information to help identify the one behind the murders that sparked the riot. Level MD Zeta-05 has been sealed. Brain dissections, who knew? Okay. Which one was this? I think it was, again, I think it's this one that we want. Okay. Ugh, I'm not traveling to Kiava Gamma now. But I think I might make this route safer. I'll use another 2 of these. Okay, so we've got like a little way to get around there now. Okay, well, tell you what, I might end it here. And we'll come back next time when we're going to go and try and track down this Drukhari fleet and have a bit of a battle. I don't know if it's a space battle or a tactical battle. I'm up for either, but we'll see which it is. But thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this episode of Rogue Trader. If you have, if you could hit the thumbs up button, if you could leave a comment as well, they're both massively appreciated. And if you're watching this and haven't already subscribed to the channel, again, it would be fantastic if you could do so. So thanks very much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.